Hi, this is Craig Stocks for Craig Stocks Arts. I want to share what I think is one of the best tips I've ever run across, and I don't recall where I saw this, so if I did, I would certainly give them credit. But the tip is when you're working on a photo in Photoshop or Lightroom, sometimes it's difficult to judge, is it too bright, too dark, do you have the right contrast range? And one of the easiest ways to judge that is to switch the background color. Now the default in Photoshop is this kind of a medium gray or a medium to light gray background, which is fine for your general editing, but when you really want to look at the brightness range and the contrast and how bright are the bright areas and how dark are the dark areas, if you switch to a white background or a black background, that gives you two other perspectives to look at the photo. And I find what works best is I tinker with the photo until it looks good on all three backgrounds. Then I know I've got it pretty well balanced. The way I have mine set up, there are three screen modes in Photoshop. There's the basic menu mode, kind of a semi-full screen mode, and then full screen mode. And you can control the background color independently for each one of those modes, and you simply cycle through the modes by pressing the F key. So I have my background color set to gray for the basic mode. If I press F once, it will go to the reduced menu mode and it switches to a white background. If I press F again, it goes to full screen and a black background. Now the way you do that is in each mode, I just pressed F again to go back to the normal mode. I can right click and select gray, black, or custom for my background color, and I'll just leave it set to gray. When I press F to go to the reduced menu mode, again I can just right click, and since white isn't a choice, I had to select a custom background color, and for the custom background color I selected white and press F again. That takes me to full screen mode. Again, right click and this time select black. And Photoshop will remember those color choices, so you can just easily cycle between gray, white, and black by pressing the F key. In Lightroom, it's a little more straightforward. In Lightroom, when you're editing a photo, let me pull up Lightroom here. Again, the default is the gray background. If I right click, I can switch from white, light gray, medium gray, dark gray, or black just by right clicking in the area to the outside of the photo. So there's white background, black background, and medium gray. And what I tend to find is when I go to a white background, I'm primarily looking at the whites and the light areas and judging how do they look relative to a pure white background. It's also a good way to see color casts frequently if the color casts are in the light areas. When I go to the black background, that tends to show if your dark areas and your blacks are a little bit weak. So you adjust your brightness, your levels, sometimes the tone curve, until you get a photo that looks equally good on all three backgrounds, and then you can be pretty sure that you have pretty well normalized that photo for any type of display. So that's my tip. That has worked well for me. I hope it works well for you. If you want more information or have questions, you can check out my website at craigstocksarts.com. Thanks, and have a great day.